What do you want? More tips and tricks on how to organize your house? You want to know more about the kitchen? You're in the right place. Come on. Come on over then. My name is Heather, and I am an organizer here in Las Vegas. My company is called Be Simplified Company, and I am going to share some of my favorite tips and tricks on organizing your kitchen today. So come on over, and let me show you some of the supplies that I start with. I started with actually a couple of bins and boxes, but I just got one box here to remind me to tell you to bring a box, bring a couple of them. I have some newspapers to wrap the glass stuff in that I'm getting rid of. Always my favorite supplies. Post-its and Sharpie to make notes and tag stuff. And then you're going to want a multi-purpose cleaner and some cleaning rags. Alright, so whenever I set up my bins, I do the same labeling system that I have done for all of my other organizing videos. This one I used keep, donate, recycle, and trash. So I had 4 bins set up here. I've already cleaned them up because they were in the middle of the house and I didn't want to leave a mess. And that way I was just able to sort my items like that. So after I set up my bins, I started by cleaning my kitchen and making sure everything was kind of where it belonged, wherever the current home for it was. I didn't try to organize it. I just wanted to get all the dishes clean and put away where they belong. And then I also set up a staging area, either like a dining room table, make sure it's empty, or a big counter that you can like kind of set your stuff out on and have plenty of room to work. Okay? So after I cleaned and set everything up and cleared my workspace, I decided to start in one section. And for me, it was pretty easy to start in the cup cabinet. I had relatively little organizing to do in here because we have very few cups anyways to start. And I thought it would be pretty easy to get it under my belt and kind of get some momentum going. So I didn't want to start in my hardest place and totally like get tired of it before I organize the whole kitchen. So starting my cup cabinet, the process for organizing in the kitchen is pretty much the same as it is everywhere else for me. I start by emptying all of the items. So I started with this cabinet. I took everything out and brought it down to the counter. I grouped like items together, so I had coffee mugs next to coffee mugs, teacups next to teacups, regular drinking glasses, blender bottles. I had a lot of blender bottles. So I grouped everything together, and then I decided what to keep, what to donate, what could be recycled, or if it was broken, what I could toss in the trash. So I didn't actually have anything that was broken. Normally when things are broken, I throw them away, believe it or not. So I want to tell you a couple of, first, coffee mugs, cups, glasses. Whenever you're sorting everything over here, make sure you have everything. So not only do you want to clean your dishes and make sure that you have everything you're going to be sorting through, you also, like, I know some people have the coffee mug trees on their counters, or for instance, we have our everyday coffee mugs that we use in a different cabinet with the coffee near the coffee maker. So you want to make sure you have everything together. Kind of like last week I mentioned about the shoes. You really want to see the whole big picture so that you can be brutally honest with yourself about how many coffee mugs you have, because I know you guys have a lot of coffee mugs. I've seen them. All right, so next, I wanted to talk about a couple of questions that you might ask yourself when you're sorting through these items to get rid of them. And to help me, I have this awesome book that I refer to all the time. It's called New Order by Faye Wolf. It's actually the first, I'm going to call it an organizing book because I decided to read it when I wanted to become an organizer. But it's really just like a life book. It's really easy to read and understand, and I actually recommend that everybody go grab it and read it. But today I'm just going to share her questions to keep in mind while you're getting rid of things. And I tagged a few that will have to do with the kitchen only. So whenever you're sorting things, you want to pick it up one item at a time, look at it and think these things to yourself. Some of these questions. Would you miss it if it were gone? Are you keeping it out of guilt? Are you indifferent to it? Do you not really care about it? Would it make someone else happier than it makes you? Is it broken? If it's broken, throw it out, please. Would you rather have a better version of it? Is it expired? Obviously, that's for food items. Have you used it in the past year? Do you even want to use it? Do you even like it? If you don't like it, get rid of it. I give you permission. Are you keeping it just in case? How many do you have? Like, are there multiple items? Is there something you have that could be doubled and used as something else? For instance, coffee mugs could also be used for tea. Yes, I kept these cute little teacups up here, but that's just because I can, because I don't have a bunch of other junk. But realistically, our coffee mugs could also be used for tea. We kept a few extra just in case we have guests. So I think all in total we have 6 coffee mugs and tea cups. And that's if we have guests. And that's probably still way too many because we don't really have guests. Alright, so cool. I think that's it about the cup cabinet. So once I got this done and I got rid of quite a few things, I wrapped them up in newspaper and put them in the box to be donated. Then, I skipped a really big part. Clean your cabinets before you put the stuff back. So make sure you just wipe the inside of the cabinets. They have lots of crumbs and dust. So clean them while they're empty and then put your things back. After that, it was really easy for me just to kind of take the kitchen by sections. At first, I thought, what else do I want to do next? But then I realized I had to organize the whole kitchen anyways. So I just moved it on down here. Started in this drawer right here. This is just kind of a random drawer. I'm sure we all have these in our kitchen. We have some lids to jars that we keep for food storage. It's little like silicone things that open jars. It was a little crazy. Actually, this drawer was really crazy because I had a lot of old jar lids. So I just got rid of what we don't use anymore and left the rest of the stuff here. And I want to show you in here that I don't really have a need for those cute little drawer organizers. There's no need to go spend a whole lot of money when you kind of pare down your items to only the things that you need and use. They'll normally all fit. Okay. Next drawer that I organized, I didn't really have to organize. This one always looks like this. But I do want to share a really cool tip about this drawer. So here I have sandwich bags, snack bags, freezer quart size bags, and freezer wrap, saran wrap, plastic wrap, cling wrap, whatever you want to call it. So I have all of these items, and once they're gone, they will be gone. I will not be purchasing these items anymore because I have found these. These are reusable Ziploc food storage bags that I found on Amazon. They are working well so far. They zip nice and tight, very easy. They work in the freezer and the refrigerator. You can't put them in the dishwasher, but you can hand wash them, and they're really easy to do so because they have these rounded corners. So especially if you have like a bottle brush, and then whenever you want to dry them, you can just stick them over a cup and they'll dry out. Anyways, so this whole pack, I don't remember how many there were, but there were a bunch. And it cost me like $13-ish. And I am taking up this much room instead of this much room. I also know exactly what happens to this bag after I use it. I wash it and I get to use it again. Whereas this bag, once I use it and it goes into the garbage can, I have no more control over where it goes. It could end up in the bottom of the ocean in an endangered fish belly. I have no control over it, but I have to sleep with that. So think about that next time you buy Ziplocs. Consider buying something that you can use more than once. Same goes for this plastic wrap. We got this awesome bees wrap. I'll show you how it comes. We actually haven't used it yet. Haven't had a need to. But it comes folded up in this little paper, and you're able to, it's just a thick plastic wrap. You're able to put it over your bowls and wash it. It comes with instructions. I did a lot of research on different reviews to see which ones I wanted to try out, and this specific brand had a lot of people saying that it'll last for probably up to a year before all the wax comes off. So I mean, I spent like $10 or something on this and maybe $15 on these. All this is gonna last me for at least a year. It's gonna take up way less time or way less space in my kitchen, and it's gonna weigh a lot lighter on my heart. Okay, so think about that next time you're buying Ziplocs. Next up, we have Tupperware. So we're lucky. We have these little drawers that slide right out of our bottom cabinets, and you can get these installed or buy just some slide-in ones from like Bed Bath & Beyond. We have all our Tupperware down here. We currently have quite a few things, and that's because we're in between, not even in between grocery trips. We are going to the grocery store tomorrow. So normally we go to the grocery store, prep a bunch of food, and pre-portion it into our containers. So most of these are always in our refrigerator, like ready for us to grab and eat food. Currently they're all clean, and in here I want to make a special mention about these containers. These are Rubbermaid containers, and I've been using the same food storage containers since I was 18 years old, and that was 16 years ago. So my mom bought me a box of these, and they're pretty durable. They were actually the nicest ones I owned at the time, and whenever I went to replace them, they happen to have the same ones, and all the lids fit together. There's only 3 sizes of lids. These fit like 2 sizes of containers. These lids fit these 3 sizes of containers, and they've always been available. Like I get mine from Walmart or Amazon, just order them online. That way when some of them go bad, you don't have to completely restock your, like start over with your Tupperware, or even worse, a tragedy, have mismatching Tupperware, because then your lids are going to be a mess, and that's what everybody hates about their Tupperware cabinet. So we have that. We have a different type of storage system down here for fruits and veggies that work pretty well. But like I said, all of our dishes are clean right now, not being used with food. Okay, after that, I moved on to this area here. We have some food pantry items up here. I just kind of went in and organized them, made them look nice for the camera. It's not the most exciting part about this area. The most exciting part is our spice cabinet. You get in there. Cool, so this is our spice cabinet. All nice and neat and organized. Again, I took everything out. I wiped the inside of it. And a couple of things that I did in here. We married items. So if there were 2 bottles of the same thing, we married them together. And that took care of some of the extra stuff that we had in here. Also, we have these spices in here. These, we live with our roommate, so we have these spices, and we are eventually going to move out. And we went ahead and created our spice storage solution right over here. Ta-da! So we have these nifty little things that we got from Amazon. And they all come with these little stickers. This one's taco seasoning, which we just mixed a bunch of our seasoning. I say we. My girlfriend mixed a bunch of our seasonings together and created the taco seasoning that we use when we cook. But they all just stick to the refrigerator or a piece of metal sheet. You can buy the metal that they can just go on your wall. I also was thinking it would be really cool to put them on the inside of the door of your cabinets, because when you shut it, as long as you have them like where they're not gonna hit right here, you could just have them right there. That would be super convenient. Anyways, a little tip for that, put your spices in alphabetical order. It sounds like a nightmare to do it first, but then you're always going to be able to find where they are located. And if you don't want to do that, if that's too much for you, I get it. But just get yourself a little Lazy Susan, or they also have these really great retractable, like expandable spice racks that kind of expand the width of your cabinet, and they go along the back side, and you can kind of see what all spices you have. But do something. Don't just put them in there, because you're going to buy doubles. You're never going to be able to find what you want or need, and it's sad. Okay? So, there's that. Let's see. Oh, one more thing about spices. Little tip. Especially if you do something like this, then I highly recommend buying your spices in bulk. You can do this at like health food stores, or also Sprouts, right? Sells their spices in bulk, and they are significantly cheaper. And then again, you don't have to continue using plastic bottles. I don't know what to tell you about these plastic bags that we're using. I reuse them. Oh, we reuse them.
Yeah, I keep them, and then when I go back to the store, I just use the same one. Same with the coffee.
There you go. Problem solved. Same with the coffee. All right. Let's go back into this cabinet really quick. We have like our protein and cacao powder and stuff that we use for our protein shakes and like dessert shakes here in the cabinet. But since we use a lot of it every day, we also have it down here. I know I'm in the way. We also have it down here on the counter in really convenient little canisters that just pop open. We have like our seeds, our cacao powder, peanut butter powder, and protein powder. And then we just keep the backups right up here. And you also might have noticed, probably not, but I'll tell you about it. Our cinnamon is in this cabinet instead of our spice cabinet. And that's because we mostly use cinnamon whenever we use honey and whenever we make shakes. So it mostly stays over here just because it's convenient. We mostly already have this door, these cabinet doors open when we're making stuff. All right, next up, here's our little drawer with oven mitts, a little tray for our pot pans, pot holders. I love these new silicone pot holders. I feel like they're never going to go bad, and they're super easy to clean. So I didn't really do anything in this drawer except for just straighten it up and make it look nice. Ignore that this drawer is missing the cover.
That was my bad, sorry.
All right, so our utensil drawer, you'll notice that we don't have any cute, fancy utensil organizers in here because we don't really need them. We only have the stuff that we need. For this, I just took everything out again, wiped the bottom of it. I looked at what we had doubles of. We had like 2 of a few things that we just accumulated through the years, and I got rid of some of our doubles. You guys all probably have like a million spatulas or spoons. So just take a look at it. Think about how many you really need while you're cooking. Get rid of the doubles. I just have these little bins that I use to kind of keep things a little more organized. In this cabinet, this is one of those weird corner cabinets that goes to nowhere and it's not really convenient. So I store things in there that I don't need to use on a super regular basis, and I don't keep much stuff in there. Like that corner is a black hole. That's where things go to die. So I would suggest trying not to stuff things back there. Here's our pots and pans. Again, we have this nifty little drawer thing. I just kind of went in here and organized it. I did take everything out and wipe these too since I was here. I put these little towels in between our pans. I just grabbed a pack of them from the dollar store. And that's because we have decently nice pans. We don't want them to get scratched up. Keep them lasting as long as possible. Oh, I do like that right there. There's a little like plate divider that you can get from pretty much anywhere. I use those to store the lids to the pots and pans. Moving on, this weird cabinet that's above your microwave. Mine's empty because it's weird. I can't reach it.
We're too short.
We're too short. It gets dirty. It gets oil in there. You probably notice because a lot of them are right over the stove. So we don't really use that one. We don't need to. Our plates and bowls. Don't have a ton of plates or bowls. We just have what we need. Probably more than we need still. And then I actually get mismatching dishes on purpose because when they break, I don't like having partial sets, and I don't want to buy a new set, so I just get mismatching dishes on purpose, all clear and white, so they kind of match. They make me feel like they match. And we have our coffee stuff up here. So here's what I was telling you earlier, like we have these coffee mugs here with our coffee, but I did take them into consideration when we were going through the coffee mugs. Another crazy thing over here, you might notice that we have our peanut butter stored with our coffee and plates, and that is because this is where we use the peanut butter. We have the cutting boards right over here, butter knives right here. We're normally making a little snack, spreading on some peanut butter. So this is just where it makes sense for us to keep it. And I know your inkling tells you, like your first thought probably tells you store the peanut butter in the pantry with the other food. But honestly, just store the things where they make sense to you. Put them somewhere. If you're finding yourself being over here and having to walk all the way, I say all the way, my kitchen's really small, so I'd have to walk like 8 feet to the peanut butter. But no need, when it's right here, I have the space anyways. Smarter, not harder. Okay, next up, silverware. This is our pared down silverware drawer. I got this cute little divider from, I don't know, Home Goods forever ago. We had a lot of spoons and a lot of forks and a lot of knives for just 3 people. So I went through and chose what I wanted to keep and got rid of the rest. We're going to donate the rest. Okay. A lot of people, here's a tip. A lot of people have these shoved in their silverware drawers or their junk drawers or just whatever random drawer. These are like the little to-go silverware napkin packets from restaurants. You're probably not going to use it. It's probably going to stay in the drawer like this forever until you finally decide to throw it away. It's just not something that we really think about. But what you can do when you go out to restaurants is you can typically, a lot of places that I eat actually ask you if you need to-go silverware. And regardless, I try to remember to tell them that I don't need any because these are nifty. This was $10 on Amazon. And it's all the silverware you need. Have these 2 straws, have chopsticks. Like, I don't even really need most of this. I always have a fork, I always have a knife, I always have a spoon. It even comes with this nifty little thing to clean the straws. So we keep these in our lunchbox or our cars, and that way we never really have to fuss with this kind of stuff. So I love that. Another thing about to-go stuff, a lot of us have to-go menus in our drawers, and I will just